a team effort, and I feel that they sort of feel that you need this at the moment. It's like, because you've got so many changes coming up over the next 12 months and you've been through so much in this last couple of years, a lot of their reason for coming during the night is to just tell you everything's going to be okay. It's like they're coming and it's like what we do to a child, you know, as they're going to sleep. We could be stroking their forehead or patting their hair or, you know, patting them on the back or something like that to reassure them that, you know, it's time, you can relax, you can go to sleep, that mummy's here and, you know, everything's okay. It's that sort of energy that they're sharing with me. So that's what I want to give to you. But as I said, I'm seeing up to 4 different people that have been coming, and it's sort of like they're taking it in turns to come and reassure you that everything's right. I would be inclined to lean towards 2 of these people being grandparents. They're just giving me that sort of energy of authority, as if they were grandparents, and particularly 2 grandparents that you were really, really super close to, that you sort of felt you were almost like their child. They seem to be sort of heading the parade up, if I can put it that way, of people coming in to sort of guide you at the moment and help you.
Yeah.
Did you have a health scare? Did you have a health issue that you had to deal with late last year?
Mental.
Did you have a health problem that you had to deal with, like backwards and forwards to a medical practitioner? Because they're showing me whatever it was that happened around August or September last year that you were concerned about or worried about is now subsiding. It's like they're showing me that that's now all clear, that everything's now starting to sort of settle right down again. So I'm taking it from that everything from the end of this month, the way that they're presenting it to me, Courtney, is everything is going to be a lot easier for you. So I think you just need to relax. Don't be alarmed by their little visits during the night. If you wake up and you feel someone's there, just sort of say hello and sort of roll over and go back to sleep, because they're not there to try and disturb you. They're there to just sort of comfort you and let you know everything's all right, and they're there with you and they're giving you energy and all that sort of stuff. So that's where we're going to leave Courtney now. I hope that's been of help to you, Courtney. We're going to go to Cheryl now in Parksville, British Columbia in Canada. Are you there, Cheryl?
Yes, I am.
You have a question I can work with, please, Cheryl?
Oh, general life, in life.
Okay, life in general. All right, we can look at that for you. It's really, really interesting, Cheryl, because they're showing me that they're beating a drum. So I don't know how to interpret that. If somebody's showing me that I'm beating the drum, to me that would be that I'm marching to the beat of the drum. You know what I mean? Like my life is going fairly systematically, that I'm marching to the beat of my own drum, and I think that's a good thing. So I can only take from that in the last 12 months or so that you've started to march to the beat of your own drum, have you? That you're really starting to do what you need to do for yourself. Is that what's been happening, Cheryl?
Yes.
Good. Well, I want you to continue on with that, because I feel by doing that you're going to start to bring your life more into a very strong, concise sort of direction of where it needs to be going. They're showing me in March there's going to be a major turning point. So are you thinking of moving house, or are you making some changes to where you're living? Because they're showing me question marks around that in the next month.
Yeah, that's been one of them too.
Yeah. And that's a good thing, because to me, again, they're showing me like your thinking is extremely clear. It's like there's nothing there that I need to alert you to or say that you're on the wrong track with. This is going to be a very definite, decisive year, and I know it's not necessarily going to suit everybody that's around you, but again, I want to say to you, you need to march to the beat of your own drum, no one else's. You're the one that's setting the pace. So changes around where you're living next month, I think that's going to be followed fairly closely by question marks around employment, about whether or not you're in the right job. I'm not necessarily seeing a job change as such, but what I am seeing is some learning of some extra skills or taking up a course or something like that that will enhance the abilities that you've got now. I think later in the year, I feel there could very well potentially be either a job change plus the opportunity to go into something that would be what I would consider a very small self-employed sort of like hobby situation that is going to increase the monetary situation around you. But I want to be very clear, they're two separate things. One is the job change or the promotion situation. That happens around July or August. And then a couple of months after that, there's an opportunity here to make extra money. But this is something more that I would consider a hobby or something that gives you pleasure. And the bonus is I make some money out of it along the way. So it's a very positive year for you, Cheryl. But at the same time, it's going to be a year where you sort of streamline everything, where you're sort of condensing things down to what is important to you. And if that means, you know, condensing your wardrobe down or condensing your closet down, but I think also condensing other areas of your life down too. And that might involve, you know, letting go of friendships or not encouraging a friendship if you no longer feel that it's necessary or is conducive to you. It's sort of like that's okay too. It's a time to sort of really do what Cheryl needs to do. And the other thing that they were showing me was whatever changes that you've made to your diet or the food that you put in your mouth and your lifestyle, can continue on with it, because whatever you've done is going to start paying dividends very soon. You're going to start to feel that your body is more in tune with itself. You're getting more energy, more movement. You sort of feel as if you're thinking super clear, your skin's very clear, you know, and you're starting to feel more energized than you've done in a long time. But I don't think it's just one particular area that's causing that. I think it's been a collective thing of not just what you're putting into your mouth, but what you're doing in your life and being true to yourself and marching to the beat of your own drum and all those sort of things that's contributing. So it's the whole package that's causing this, Cheryl. But I think it's very exciting as we move towards, you know, 2020 unfolding for you, Cheryl, because there's just so many opportunities there coming towards you because you are listening to yourself for a change and putting yourself first, and that's a good thing.
Okay. And financially?
Is that all I can help you with today, Cheryl?
Well, financially.
You what, sweetie?
I'm just worried about
financial stuff, but I feel that that's going to improve because there is opportunities there to make more money this year, and also too with your job, you know, being given a more responsible job later in the year as a promotion. I feel that there'll be more money around that as well. So, you know, finances and everything else will go hand in hand with the changes that are coming up for you, Cheryl. So that's where we're going to leave Cheryl. So, you know, it's been a very interesting start to 2020. As I said, you know, we've had lots of weather events around the world and a lot of political changes, and a lot of people sort of started off 2020 thinking, okay, we're going into a new decade, and everybody was feeling sort of excited and ready to sort of raring to go and let's go. And then all of a sudden, by the second week of 2020, it was like we all hit the wall and said, wow, this is not quite going the way that we expected. Yes, we can blame a lot of that on the planetary stuff, and as I've been talking about for many, many weeks now, that we've got some pretty serious, heavy-going sort of planetary stuff and a lot of planets sitting in Earth at the moment, which is, you know, is very grounding, but it can also make us feel sort of stodgy and held back and sort of restricted in some ways. So it's important that we have planets like Mars, the planet of action, is sitting in Sagittarius, where it's sort of starting to rev things up a little bit now, where we're starting to slowly see through some positive energy filtering through. And with this new moon this weekend coming up for all of us around the world, I think will signal the start of the energy starting to feel a little bit lighter, and it's all starting to feel a little bit more positive, and we've caught our breath and we're ready to go for the next round of events. And then as we head into next week and we head into Valentine's Day, which is always a magical time of the year, I'm an old softie at heart when it comes to romantic things like that. I think it's a time of the year where we all probably spend a little bit too much money on the person that we love or sort of think about matters of the heart. But I think we need that. I think we need that injection of positive energy to make us sort of, sidestep some of these emotional issues and these world issues and just sort of focus on loving energy, because after all, love is what makes the world go round, and there's been many, many songs sung about it and written about it over the years. But I think John Lennon probably was the one that springs to mind to me when he always sung about love. He talked about love, and love was the most important thing in the world, and it's the answer to everything. And I mean, yes, there's many other people that have sung about love and sing about love and write songs about love even in today's modern society. But I think there's people like him that were truly the people that you can put love in the same sentence with, that he didn't falter from that throughout his life. And, whether you liked his choices in wives or not is really not the issue. But, Yoko Ono certainly brought out the loving side of him, and he wrote a lot of his greatest love songs after he left the Beatles in his own career. And, love was always the thing, and freedom, that was always the thread throughout the work that he wrote. So I think all of us in the next week can sort of, start listening to our favourite radio station and listening out for the love songs that are going to be about. I know for me that, music is a very, very, very big part of my world, and I always have some sort of music on the turntable or on some sort of device. Even when I'm working, it's always going in the background, because I do find music is good for the soul, and I listen to them again and try and work out what the message is behind that. I have a certain series of songs that one of my late aunts, sort of when she wants to grab my attention, she has one of 3 songs that she puts on randomly, and I have to look at what's either side of that, because that's her message if I really feel her presence very strong. So why don't you start to try and take a little bit more notice of maybe that there might be some synchronicity in your life with music as well. So until next week, have a great week, be kind to each other, and don't forget to try and do something for someone else. A smile, opening a car door, being nice to somebody, popping next door and seeing if they're okay can brighten their world. Until next week, bye for now.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network. and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for New York City Celebrity Psychic with Perry Lyons. Perry Lyons. Live from PerryLyonsBrilliance.wixsite.com/Perry Lyons.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is New York City Celebrity Psychic
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Very lying again in your living room. Well, not literally. Okay, well, I'm under your couch, but don't you guys ever dust under here? So I'm happy to see you today. I'm happy to see you every day. Again, I just want to remind you, Moonstruck TV and A1R Psychic Radio are the platform that I have the privilege of appearing on. And it's really worth downloading the A1R Moonstruck app. It's also a good idea to tune in every Wednesday at 9 p.m. live to at least try and hear me, because my audio isn't fabulous today. However, I'm happy to see it. And there's something I wanted to talk about today. I make that sound like, I don't know, I just made it sound like a teacher telling me this is going to go in your permanent record. That's not. What I've noticed in the last 2 weeks is people have been having tough times. You know, it's part of being human, but people have really been having especially tough times. I hope it's not you. But if it is, here's something that I have recently learned having to do with that. Right before an old behavior or an old way of being is getting ready to leave us in a good way. That's a good thing. It makes a lot of noise on its way out. It gets right up in our grill. Because when we transcend our known limitations, our limitations put up a fight. They don't want to be transcended. Part of us feels safe and comfortable in the misery we know, rather than the happiness we might not have a blueprint for. But of course, we do have a blueprint. We're born with a blueprint for happiness. Let me put this a different way. I was a bartender a long time ago. It's a good job. But I noticed that right before we'd have to toss a drunk out of a bar, it's called getting 86th, by the way. Just as the drunk was leaving, he would turn at the door and he would, or she, or it, would say, "You guys don't know who you're messing with. My brother is God's brother-in-law, and I'll mess with you." And you just push him and he'd be out the door and that would be it, right? It was an unpleasant 2 minutes. But when you, right before you push a drunk out of a bar, he, she, or they make a lot of noise. And it's the same when we're outgrowing old behaviors. The old behaviors don't like being pushed out of that bar. They don't like old behaviors. Our old limitations really fight hard for their existence. So when you're growing, when you're consciously making intentions to be better with money, or to be luckier, or to just have things work better, to be kinder, to be taller. Okay. All of the limitations that have gotten in the way of you doing that before will come up and fight for their existence like mothers. I'm not going to finish that word. We have sensors. But they will make a very, very strong fight for their own existence. And at the time, it can seem overwhelming. What I'd like you to know from my own experience and from my 15 years of working with thousands of clients, some of you guys still owe me money, so pony up. But, kidding. No, I'm not. So, for instance, I made a very strong intention in both prayer and meditation and writing it down about 2 weeks ago for me, for me to be luckier with, we'll say, electronic things, appliances. As a psychic especially, I have a little trouble with that. As any of my friends can tell you, whenever I get upset, my headphones don't work, my computer breaks. So I made a very strong intention to cure that. Within the next 3 days, my dishwasher, my sinkulator, whatever you call them, they're things you have in the suburbs. We don't have them in Brooklyn, but I'm taking care of mom in the suburbs right now, so we have one here. My toaster oven, my oven, and my refrigerator all apparently made a suicide pact. So they all died. So I would have despaired. I'll be honest with you. I despaired for a good 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, that's a complete lie. I went for 3 hours. But what happened was, good things happened. I wound up getting like a free new dishwasher. I wound up getting, what I'm trying to say is it had a happy ending. But, so when you're going through a hard time, when you've made a really strong intention to change, and suddenly it seems like all of the things that you have made an intention to change, like, get worse. They really get up in your grill. You know what? It's a sign that they're about to get better. It's a sign that those limitations are fighting for their existence. But you know what? They ain't got a chance. So take it from a woman who now has new dishwasher, new oven, and which were either donated or under warranty or some miracle. It worked, and I know it's a silly, maybe very kind of, okay, it's a silly metaphor, but I think you know what I'm saying. So if you're going through a hard time, if the things that you asked to get better suddenly are like, boom, up in your grill. I did that fast, you wouldn't notice that my nails aren't done. I just want you to know that it's actually a good sign. It means things are getting better. And talking about things getting better, we're now going to talk to somebody in British Columbia, one of my favorite places in the world. I didn't catch your name, darling, and you're going to have to speak up. So
This is Amanda.
Oh, I love that name. Hi, Amanda. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. I'd like to connect to people by just what their birthday is. So if you could tell me the birthday, you don't have to tell me the year.
Okay, March 23rd.
Is that March what?
March 23rd.
Oh, great day. I'm a March baby myself. We love Aries on this show. It sounds like you have a specific question. Is that true? It sounds like maybe somebody... You what?
Hoping for a connection with my past son.
Oh, darling, I'm so sorry. I was about to ask if you were looking to make a connection with somebody. There's no worse pain anyone can go through, and I'm so sorry for your loss. Did his name, let me see if I've got the right person. Did his name begin with a B?
No, it began with a C.
Okay. Takes me a minute to warm up. Is there a reason that he might feel ashamed to talk to you? Of course, there's no reason for him to be ashamed, but he's very present with you, which you've noticed. He passed.
Yes, that is true.
What?
Yes, that's true. I've noticed his presence around.
Oh, he's very around. Does he manifest through things electrical? Does he turn lights on and off? Or does he hide your keys occasionally?
The lights tend to flicker occasionally.
Yeah. Also, coins are a big thing with him.
Yes, I constantly find dimes.
Yeah, dimes are a big thing with him. God, I'm so sorry. I'm having a hard time connecting with him because he really loves you. He feels he let you down. Obviously, you never did anything to make him feel that way. He was a perfectionist. I'm sorry, you're going to have to give me a second. In fact, his being so hard on himself was one of the reasons he's not here anymore. Is that correct?
No, he was just a baby, like 16 months old.
He was a baby?
Yeah, he was 16 months old.
I'm terribly sorry. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I don't usually make mistakes, so it's not a mistake. Let me tell you what I think I'm getting. Did he have an uncle or a cousin who was older, who passed early?
He has an uncle who was about 34 or something when he passed, and his name, like part of my son's name is his name.
Okay. Caleb?
Corey is the uncle that passed.
Okay. The person I got, I'm sorry, it's very hard for me to connect with children because I because of a personal tragedy in my own life. It's and also the person I got is the person who is taking care of him, hanging out with him, and making sure he's okay. It would have been somebody who passed either right before or around the same time. I don't know what to say. What I can say is that your son was one of the most beautiful, physically and beautiful. He just had a beautiful spirit. You couldn't walk down the street without people stopping you and saying, he just had a radiance.
Yeah, that was very true. He was very, very alluring.
And he was very loving. He was also incredibly precocious. He was speaking before, he was saying words before I mean, there were words he said. He knew, he said, he had about 16 words that he would say.
He was speaking fluent words.
What I want to say is, no child can replace him. You are going to have, I believe, another child for whom your son will be a very strong guardian angel. Your son is always with you. He's always with his sister, too. I'm sorry, I haven't had somebody call in who's suffered this kind of tragedy before. And I feel like anything I say is going to be inadequate. But your son was such a loving person that his light fills your house. It's not just that he's present. It's that his light fills your house. And he's very protective. Is that of his little sister?
He has a little brother. His sister's older.
I hope you have some sort of support group. I don't want to say anything trite because I don't want to diminish what you've been through. But I do want to tell you that personality and love and our souls, they don't die. And you will have, I believe you will have another child, which would be a huge act of courage. But please, please know that he's with you.
Thank you very much.
He also protects his siblings. There have been a couple of near misses, which I would call small miracles. Keep an eye out for miracles. You know, just small ways in which you're protected, big ways in which by the way, your other child can both see and hear him. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe that. Like, I'm just waiting till he's old enough so he could actually tell us about it.
I'm sorry if you can't hear me well. And it wasn't your fault. It's just so you know, nothing even happened. This wasn't your fault. He made an agreement before he got here to leave early. That's one reason he was such a special person. That's one reason that he radiated love in such a way that, I mean, people wouldn't leave you alone when you were with him. They just wanted to like, oh, can I say hi? No. I can't imagine the grief you're going through. I hope you are getting some kind of counseling, or that you have a priest or someone you can talk to. But I can tell you with every fiber of my being that he's always with you. He always will be. And his love just fills the house. I can't think of another way to put it. What's your little girl's name?
Thank you very much. My older daughter, like she's 16,
What?
her name is Aurora. Aurora is my older daughter's name, and then I have a younger son who is 21 months old, and his name's Tyler.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love the name Angela, too. Do you mind if I ask what your son's name was?
Cyrus.
If it's okay, I'm going to put him in my prayers. I'm on Facebook. You can contact me. I'll give you a free 15-minute reading. People can tell you that that's an offer that I make and follow through on. I'm sorry I said younger sister, but I think he is going to have a younger sister. I apologize to our next caller. I want to stay. If it's okay, I want to stay with you here for a few more minutes. Is that all right with you? Are you still there? Okay. Sometimes the people who call in, and I always, maybe because I've got the best producers in the world, Dave and Constance Solomon, maybe it's because Moonstruck is truly a beautiful network. But the people who call in here are always the best people almost I've ever met. And every week, I learn about courage, I learn about love, I learn about the capacity of the human spirit to survive, grow, thrive, and keep loving, and to not get broken, but to teach others how to continue to love and how to continue to live. I'm grateful for the trust that those of you who call in give me. I give you my word that I do my best all the time to deserve that trust. But I want to thank you all for being here every week and for being the people you are. The brave, the kind, the good, a lot of times the unappreciated. But you know what? You are appreciated. I appreciate you. And the people I've met in the show are the best people I've ever met. God bless everybody. I'm gonna go pray for that last caller. And so next week I'll be my usual cheerful self, but sometimes you just have to acknowledge what people go through. So that's all. And let's all take a moment to just be grateful for the people we have in our lives, the beauty we have, the sunrises and the sunsets. And next week you'll get to meet my new cat. I adopted the cat to keep my mom company. Anyway, thanks, and I love you all. Okay. God bless you.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Divine Guidance with Angel Tuzigno. Live from CrystalClear101.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Divine Guidance
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Angel's Divine Guidance. Okay, so you can reach me at crystalclear101.com, or you can get a hold of me on my Facebook page, Crystal Clear Holistic Healing and Products. All right, you can also text me at 306-261-4086. So let's get in to tonight. I was getting some downloads here right off the bat, so we're going to have some pretty great callers. So everyone watching tonight, we got 2 cards picked. Okay, so we've got the Humanity and Beloved, Stay Calm, Trust the Good in Yourself and Others, and we have the Intervention and Purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided, and happiness is your purpose. Okay? And that kind of leads in with what I wanted to discuss today. And part of what I wanted to discuss is there's many layers to an onion, just like there's many layers to our lives. Okay? Truth be told, there is only one person in our lives that can make us ourselves happy. Okay? And fulfill the truth and happiness that is within us. So, if all else, I need you to take away the honesty to ourselves first and foremost, because we are the only people, or the only person, I should say, that can take care of us. If we don't give ourselves the happiness, the love, unconditional love to ourselves, we can't expect it to come from anyone else or anywhere else. Okay? So just know that sometimes truth hurts, but know that it's all part of us growing and expanding. Okay? When life puts us through situations, don't say, why me? Just say, try me. Like, it's sort of like, don't feel sorry for yourself. Hold your head up high and hit it head on. Okay? Sometimes there has to be an end in order for something to begin, for a new door to open. A window has to close, or a door has to close and a window's got to open, whichever way you want to look at it. Okay? Don't hold on to the old energy and block yourself from the blessings. Learn to embrace and trust the universe and its uncertainties. Just like my grandma used to tell me, get out of your own way, Angèle. It was just something she'd say. You're stopping yourself from growing. You're stopping yourself from getting everything you've ever wanted. So step out of your comfort zone, step with the universe, and see just what can happen. You'd be amazed at the stuff that a person can manifest when we get out of our own way. With that being said, it's Chinese New Year's. And with that, the Chinese New Year's for 2020 is the year of the rat. Okay? The metal rat is going to be a strong, prosperous, and a lucky year for almost all the Chinese zodiacs. Everyone's going to show determination. regarding their goals, aspirations, and even their hobbies. Okay? This is a great year for founding and evolving. Those who plan to buy real estate, to start a business, or to invest money in a long-term project have a great chance of being satisfied in the future. But make a mental note and be aware. This type initiative will only be successful if they are carefully planned. So trust in yourself, trust in your team, trust in your intuition. It's never going to guide you wrong. And have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful life. Because it's short. Let's face it. Tomorrow's never promised for any of us. Okay, so now let's go into our first caller, which is Damien.
Yes.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's good. Well, you got 2 cards today as well. All right. So your first card is Inner Strength. All right. And that one is moving back to your wholeness. Okay. Recognize that you have the power. You've kind of given your power away to what other people think and say. You've kind of backed off. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. Your second card is the Life Force card. Okay. And that card is you have to express your driving passion. Okay. So your powers are increasing. So that's telling me that you're very intuitive. Does it make sense to you in the aspect that you are gifted, that you have abilities?
Yes, ma'am. It does.
Yes. Okay. So
yes.
Okay. Are you scared of them? I don't mean to laugh. It's just they're making kind of jokes about with your gifts that you're uncomfortable with them, I guess would be a better word.
I'm not uncomfortable with them. I understand them, and I've had them for quite some time.
Okay, but they're okay. So maybe I'm just understanding. They're making me feel like you've pulled back from them, like you're not trusting them. Is there a particular reason? Did something happen that kind of shifted you off or away from them?
Something that I see things beforehand before they happen, and some things are like just tragic things, and I got to where I didn't want to, and I understand that I can't help that. It's just something that happens with me.
Yes, your sight or pre-sight into what's to come is part of your gifts. Okay, so don't try to overthink it when you get the vision. Just write it down. Okay, it's just something for you to start playing with, if that makes sense. So
yes, ma'am.
When you get that pre-vision, I mean, I had them. I seen the volcanoes erupting in Hawaii. I seen the path of destruction, and I wrote everything down, and I dated it. Okay, so then when it hit the news, I could verify. Hey, I seen it. I interpreted it correctly. I don't know if you heard about or remember the duck boat tragedy where the 17 people were killed.
Yes.
Okay, I had a vision on that, and I thought I was a little loopy because I could just see a duck with people sitting on top of the duck and the duck flipping over and the bodies just floating in the water. So I thought I had snapped and lost it, to be honest, because it didn't make sense to me. But once it hit the news and they explained to it everything that had gone on, I go, Okay. So it's just a way of understanding what's coming to you in advance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you're pretty dead on when you're getting these visions. And I'm going to call them visions because that's what you're getting.
Yeah.
Whether you get them sitting watching TV or in your dreams, these are visions. You're seeing the future. Okay? So
Right.
they have gifted you this, and now play with it so you can understand the interpretation and how they communicate to you.
Okay.
So I guess if I had to, they're giving me more information here. They don't want me to guess. They want you to start really connecting with them. They want to work with you one-on-one, and they want you to understand. So just picture that they're up at a higher level energy and you're here. So they're challenging you to come up to meet them so that you guys can be at a level playing ground so that you can just have a normal conversation like you and I are having right now. So
I follow.
I would say meditation or whatever practice that you use to connect with your guides. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you also see spirit?
No, that I don't.
It's coming. You will be able to see spirit. It's coming. I think they're just going to let you get comfortable with where you've evolved to now in seeing the future. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, what happened 2 weeks ago?
Excuse me?
What happened 2 weeks ago?
Two weeks ago?
Yeah, they're telling me that something happened
anything.
I'm sorry, you cut out on me.
Nothing that I can recall that affected my life or anything.
Okay. Did you have a vision 2 weeks ago?
No.
Okay. They're bringing up that there's something that happened 2 weeks ago, so we'll just kind of park that because it might pop into your head later on and you're going to go, that's what they were trying to say.
Okay.
And then just sit with them and get more information on it, okay?
Okay.
So do you have any particular questions that you have for me?
I recently started doing music again, and I was wanting to know if that was something that would be prosperous for me at this time.
Yes. And it may, it's going to be prosperous in more than one way. You will start evolving with your music. Your music keeps you in touch with your spiritual side, with the gifted side. So it's going to expand, and just imagine a wagon wheel with spokes. And your music is your center, and everything else is just going to spoke off, and you're just going to start to go, it'll be like a big snowball going down the mountain. Okay?
Okay. That's what I say. Because I just recently started investing in music gear.
Yes.
And I did have some concerns about spending this money that I really don't have to do it right now, but I trust in me.
Yes. And you also know what you need and what you can get by with and what you don't need till further on. So stay with the bare minimum while you're at the bottom stage moving up, if that makes sense.
It does. My fiance told me the same thing.
Yeah, just connect. They're going to tell you what you need to do. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend, and I am going to...
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. And I'm going to go on to my second caller. Pamela?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you?
Fantastic.
Ah, that's great. I like hearing fantastic. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to get that in the sentence. All right, I'm going to give up on it. Okay, your card is Earth Connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth and stay grounded. Do you fly a lot, girl?
No, but I will be. My niece got a buddy pass for me at the airline she works for.
Okay. Okay. So that's going to be, yeah, you're going to be flying a lot. Okay. So the important part is for you to continue to work on getting yourself grounded. All right. So you are going to be flying and spending a lot of time on planes, and I mean flying physically, but also mentally. Like you tend to, I call it flying. You tend to space out, where you kind of will be driving along, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm here. How did I get here? What happened to this town? What happened here? Okay, that's you flying in the other sense of the word. Okay, so you got to work on grounding. So water, touching earth, Epsom salt water, that'll all help you ground. And if you find it getting even harder on the grounding aspect, find a crystal shop and get yourself a piece of flint and just keep it in your bra, and that'll help ground you.
Okay.
And then when you're at home, like myself, when I do my readings or I'm on tour with the Galaxy Psychic Fair and I'm doing readings, I have a Himalayan salt block that I use. And I put my feet on there and it helps. Boom. And then we don't space out so much.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What can I do for you tonight?
Well, I want to know about the gentleman I'm seeing. His name is Chris, and I want to know, is he sincere?
Yes. Yes, he is. Okay. Now, with that being said, he has been burnt. Okay. So he is a little guarded, and he is scared to show, how do I say, his full affection, his full self at the moment, because he's scared to have his heart broken again. Okay. So it's going to take a little bit of understanding on your part to understand where he's coming from. For him to get the full trust. They're just giving me a lot of information, and I'm trying to pick what's relevant and what's not relevant. Okay, so unconditional love for him. Like, he needs to know you're going to be there no matter what.
Yeah.
Which you are going to be.
Yeah.
Because you've already had a few little hiccups in the relationship. We'll just be honest about it. And you haven't ran away.
No.
And the little hiccups is him kind of testing. So think of it as when you say no to your kid and they push the button and they test you to see how far they can get. So he's just testing to see if you're going to stick around or not. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, with this being said, okay, are you thinking of changing jobs?
I'm starting a new job on the 3rd of February. Brand new job.
Brand new job. Okay. This this is going to be a good move. And you also have the opportunity to move up from there because they're kind of showing me the step up and over. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever they throw at you for courses or office education, take it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's only in your best interest. Okay. Now,
Yep.
Are you going into a management position?
No, actually, I used to be a manager. Now I'm going into a frontline associate, no leadership. But I want leadership. I just took the job because the pay is great, and I saw it as a foot in the door.
Okay, so where are you at? Where are you at? That's good English now, isn't it? Where you are going to be at in the new position, you have the opportunity to go up to management because they are showing me people under you. Okay?
Yes.
So it's just, you know how good you are. Mm-hmm. You just got to let them know how good you are.
I love it. Yes.
Okay? So you own it, girl. You walk in there, you rock it, and you say, here it is.
Oh my God, I said, you are the best.
Take any education they're going to give you and just run with it, okay? So,
okay.
And show them that you're willing to do this and show them that you have the management skills and the pay raise is going to come with it. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a nice pay raise too.
Awesome.
Okay,
you made my night.
Okay, they're showing me a house with the front porch and 3 pillars. Does that make sense to you?
I'll tell you what. I wrote down 3 questions before we started speaking. You are on my second question. You've answered the other 2. And that's exactly what I was about to ask you.
I jumped ahead of you. They're having, so I'll just roll with it. Hey, I'll take the credit. I'm owning this here. Okay, so they're showing me walking out the front door, and there's basically a deck with 3 pillars. Okay, there possibly is a 4th, but I'm kind of situated to the right. So there's going to be some kind of focus point off to the right. Does that make sense?
It doesn't now, but I'm sure it will.
Okay, you're going to know this is the perfect house because when you're in viewing the house, when you walk out, you're going to automatically look to the right and you're going to say, yes, this is it.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
See, I'm trying to figure out what it is because they're constantly making me want to go to the right. So there's something that's that's on your list for the perfect home. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes.
And where does the water fit into this?
Not real sure, but in the area that I want to move, most of them, the little developments, have ponds in the back.
Okay, because no, it's not ponds. It's like it's going to be a bigger body of water. So it's making me feel like it's going to be by the ocean, if that makes sense. Or a lake, a big lake.
A lake, okay. Not sure, but right now, to be honest with you, I live on the lake front.
Okay, so there is water, and you don't have 3 pillars, and the lake isn't off to the right?
The lake is off to the right, yeah.
Okay.
Right now.
So they're having me come out your house. Okay. No. It's basically you're going to be walking up. You're going to be in viewing the house. You're going to walk out, and to the right, whatever it is going to catch your eye. You're going to know immediately that that's the house for you. They're making me feel like it's going to be 3 bedrooms on the main floor, and then you're going to have either 1 or 2 in the basement.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Wow.
And it's making me feel like you're going to be closer to your job. You're going to have less commute time.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Yes.
All right, because that's what they're making me feel when they're showing me this.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Well, time for Persian Medium I Am Power with Pia Johan. Pia Johan, live from PersianMedium.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Persian Medium I Am Power
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello and welcome to Talking About Success. I'm your host, Jack Canfield. You may know me as the #1 success coach in America, co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, and also the Success Principles, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And this show is a lot about helping you get from where you are now to where you want to be. We're going to help you do that today. I have a fabulous guest today with me, Pia Johansson. She is an amazing being who is going to share, I think, some powerful information that will transform your life with us today. She is a entrepreneur's coach, a coach of entrepreneurs, and also a keynote speaker. And those terms don't even begin to talk about the depth of who you are. So we'll unpack that a little bit. But welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. So tell us a bit about that. You know, you're a coach, you're a speaker. Tell us about yourself, some background perhaps, and a little about your work. Just get started.
After I got Master of Psychology, I asked myself, now what? Okay, you got Master of Psychology, you're in your practice 8 hours a day, and you're just listening to people who came in and just crying, feel anxious, not happy, not feeling okay, and always connected to themselves about their past, not looking forward for the future. Then how you can fear change this? Well, nobody teach us in high school and university what means conscious and subconscious. But I learned, and I felt, okay, you do have a Master of Psychology. You did a lot of businesses at the age of 22. So you know how to be or help all the entrepreneurs out there. And most of those amazing problems, they come from finance. But how can you help them to achieve faster? And instead, they're walking into your office and talk about, I can't do it, I'm not happy. They just focus on something that they can do it, and they will, and they are going to. And from there, I named myself Subconscious Mind Surgeon.
Subconscious Mind Surgeon.
How to hijack someone's subconscious mind, how to make him and her happier and healthier and wealthier about herself or himself, and how to make them to become successful. Just to know the secret between conscious and subconscious.
So let's unpack that for a minute, if you will. What is the secret to know between the conscious?
Well, what's happening in our life, who we are today, is all because of our subconscious. Mm-hmm. So how we attract things to ourselves? Because of our conscious. So if we consciously connecting to positivities, replace negative thought to positive thought. So subconsciously, we are attracting positivities, monies, energies, and people. You was the one that taught me in so many years how we can use our subconscious mind, our brain, to get what we want. Mm-hmm. So you've been my mentor for so many years, Jack.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad to have been your mentor. I think in many ways you've gone beyond me and some of your understandings of this work and your ability to assist people with that, but thank you for the compliment.
Absolutely. I read all your books, and I was amazed by each of them.
Thank you.
And you taught me a lot, and I found the secret in between conscious and subconscious, which after so many years I'm teaching all my students, followers, fans, over 2 million followers, fans worldwide, and I'm talking about you so highly, and I'm telling them, just ask and receive. And they asking me, what do you mean ask? I said, well, Jack said ask and receive, because you always says ask, never just refuse to ask. And then they said, like, what is in between asking and receiving? And what is in between asking and subconscious mind? I said, well, you are asking. That means consciously you put yourself through on fear or no problem in whatsoever you can think in your business or in your private life. And subconsciously, when you are asleep, your brain is starting to recognize, realize, and bring things to attention, to universe. And the frequencies will bring everything back to your life.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It really is all about frequencies and vibration.
Absolutely. We are all based on energies, and you know that, Jack.
I do. When you're teaching your students, in addition to what you just said, are there other things you do to teach them to raise their vibration, raise their frequencies?
Exactly.
Can you share some of those?
Well, some people ask me, how can I do that? Well, like on the way here, I just put on the music. I'm so excited. So everybody was like, oh, I love this music and I'm excited. I got excited. Like, yes, like you guys, I mean, they can easily do with some memories, something that they make them to feel happy. Let's say that we do have like a bad day or something had happened last week, we are not feeling happy. I was like, you know what? Change it, replace it. It's all thought. To me, there's no such a thing as a bad thought and good thought. It's all thought. We are the producer of those thoughts. If I'm gonna have a drama in my life, so I produce a drama and became a drama queen. If I want action, I produce action. If I want calmness and happiness, I produce calmness and happiness and family movies. So just do it the way that you want. And it's all thought. And that's what people kind of think of, you're right. Yeah, replace it. Positive thought. Because this is all your thought. You can change it in a second and minutes. And that's what they do.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, you and I are involved in a book together.
Yes, we do.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes, we do. I'm so excited.
Good.
Exactly. I am so excited about that book. And I'm so happy to co-author together with you. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. And I still can't believe that I've been asked by you. And I'm just so grateful. So a lot of people ask me, what is all about? What is all about success? And they ask me, what means? Means that how you can easily, but very gradually and nicely succeed in what you want in your life. And it's all about strategy. What type of strategy of your life you have to choose or have in order to succeed. So Success Strategy book, for a lot of my students, followers, and fans, it's going to be the biggest book ever. They're going to change their life, and I know they will, and I know it's going to.
How do you define success for you?
To me, success means when you are happy, when you find your happiness. Success means you do things that you love. You feel things that you love. You connect with things that you love. And to me, success, divine with love.
Beautiful.
It's divine love.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, you're a producer of a film called The Game Masters, which I'm really eager to see. Talk about the movie.
Well, it's all about sex trafficking, human sex trafficking, human traffickings, and it's telling what's happening around us, around countries, Middle Eastern and all other places. In that way, I would say I was very blessed to get connect with a lot of powerful people, police, law enforcement, who they would love to help me to bring it to a lot of people's attention, what's going on around us, around the world. And that taught me a lot, and I'm very happy and blessed that I could. And is still continuing, is still get going. We are going to have another movie which coming, and it's going to be almost continuing the same way, but we are going to let other people know about more political stuff, things which is behind and all this stuff. I know that there's a lot of people maybe not really like that when we look them in the eyes, but we're just trying to show people what's going on around and what means human trafficking, what means when a woman, beautiful, gorgeous ladies who came from other countries without knowing what she's going, where she's going, how she's doing, and what happened to her, and what else is going to happen in the world. So there's a lot behind it.
What drew you into that project?
Well, as you know, I'm also medium, so basically this is my bonus. So I'm working with law enforcement, police officers, private investigators, and also intelligence services. So I saw a lot with my own eyes. I feel a lot with my own heart. And I felt I need to make a movie. I need to bring it to attention to other people as well. They need to know about it. And this is the truth, the real truths of everything that we have on a daily basis, but we have no idea if it's even exists or not. So that made me to feel that take an action, making movies, and let everybody knows about it.
So most people out there would say, oh, I see something, I'm going to make a movie. I mean, most people would feel overwhelmed by even committing to doing such a big thing.
It's hard. It's not easy. Making a movie is not easy. Being a producer is not easy because you have to connect with a lot of people. And in Hollywood, well, as I always says, there is impossible Hollywood and impossible Hollywood. So you have to get connect with impossible, but to me, because I just choose the name as Impossible Hollywood, everything has to say yes, and they're gonna just go for it, and we are going to shake hands. But it was hard. It was not easy, and having the commitment to a lot of people, let them to commit with you, make their promises come around, and get things move on. It's just not easy. It wasn't easy, but I believe in one thing. If you want to do something, and if you do have enough belief on what you are doing and the message that you want to send to the world, then universe will help you no matter what. So that's what universe helped me. So I found most amazing actors and actress. I found amazing, basically investors, and I found amazing A-list actress who basically wanted and would love to get in touch and get in tune with it. And I love the way that they wanted to, kind of get engaged and shaking hand with me and just say, we are here for you. For whatever you are doing, we are here to support you.
Beautiful. Is the movie a drama or a documentary, or what's the?
It's drama.
Drama.
Yeah, action drama.
Very good. Well, good for you. That's impressive.
I have another things that coming up soon. Next movie. Maybe I should just make a movie of your life.
That's already been done.
Well, we can do another version.
Okay.
You just said that you birthed again about 2 days ago.
I went through a very transformative experience just a week ago, and I feel very different. So maybe we'll make a movie about that.
Definitely. For sure.
I'm just wondering who you'll cast as me. That'll be interesting.
It's going to be, I'm so sure. I'm also working with a lot of charities, and I open my own charities because I believe through knowledge, people can understand themselves better. They can fool each other. They can hate each other. So basically, through knowledge, you can really find through yourself and build yourself up. So that's why I built my Cultivating Knowledge, charity or foundation, which is there's a lot of celebrities already been involved and helped me on that, and I'm very thankful and grateful for that as well. And also, I'm co-authoring book with Jiu-Jitsu master in United States. He was the one who basically brought Jiu-Jitsu to United States, or his family basically found the Jiu-Jitsu. And I have to take you there because you need to definitely train with Riga Machado. So he's trained all celebrities, A-list celebrities in Beverly Hills, and you name it, he's trained.
Wow, that's great.
And he's an awesome guy, like humble, like nice teddy bear, so kind in so many ways, and I know you're gonna love him.
Oh, I look forward to that. That's exciting. So
yeah, would love to co-author with him and just tell about his success stories, because it's amazed me. I mean, I cried when he started to tell about himself and telling what he did. I almost cried. I was like, wow, couldn't even believe that you went through all those things, and then wow, that's amazing success that you have, and all celebrities, one after each other, just like walking to his academy. It was like, wow, I'm amazed by you, man. What type of power you have? Tell me about your secret. And he always says, well, you know my secret, Fia? Subconscious mind, huh? He's funny.
That's beautiful, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. There are so many stories that need to be told. So many people walking the planet who have these inspirational lives, and the people need more of that. I think we need a few less Transformer movies and a few more stories like that to really talk about true transformation.
Exactly.
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 Coming.
Yeah, good for you.
It's coming.
So, is there if you had like one main message for everyone out there, like, what would you say to them? What do you want to impart to people?
Well, there's two messages out there, basically. One of my most important message to you guys who basically wants to open new businesses, became an entrepreneur and not knowing what to do. So find a good investors, find a good productive group of people, and number 3, just get into the market and nail it. And my second message, you already have a company and you are already successful, but you're tired and you don't know where to go and what to do because you just feel bored and you want to make more money, but not more money coming. Well, my advice is hire the coach and mentor, me and Jack. We know how to do to make you to feel fun, happy, and connected to yourself again. Because there's a lot of successful people already. You guys make money, they make money. They do not have any problem of making money. But happiness, they do have issues with happiness. Mm-hmm. How they can connect with themselves, with their own soul. And how can I just feel satisfied? I feel satisfied when it comes to my family, when it comes to money, when it comes to my, 7 Ferraris, Lamborghinis, whatever, but I'm not still satisfied with myself. Well, we can help you guys to feel satisfied with your soul together with Jack.
Thank you. That's wonderful. Now, obviously, you have your book, you have your coaching programs, you do mediumship, all this stuff. If people want to get in touch with you to find out more, take advantage of what you have to offer, where do they go?
Well, I do have a very strong social media, Persian Medium. So it's very strong. It's over 1,300,000 of followers, which I'm very grateful and happy for that. I have my Facebook, which is about 500,000 followers, which is I'm grateful and thankful for that. I have PersianMedium.com, which if you guys go to PersianMedium.com, they can get all the news worldwide. And some people, they want to just like have some conversation with me kind of on the phone in a confidential way. They don't want to mention about their name. A lot of celebrities basically are communicating with me through that platform because they don't want to bring about their names or whatever it is. So it's Avid Advice, AVIDadvice.com. It's actually the secure and safe platform for all of you to just connect with me and ask me any questions from A to Z, and I'm here to help you out.
Beautiful. So now I understand you're working on another book too. Can you share with us what that is?
This is actually the book that I do with my husband. So me as a woman, he is a man. We are thinking how we are almost connecting with each other, like he's a pizza type of slide when it comes to his mind, his strategies, the feelings, or his life when it comes to the wife, to the kids, and everything. And I'm actually the sweet cake layers, which basically woman has life as a sweet cake, layers by layers by layers, but man has like a pizza sliders, like, you know what, this is a slide of my life, which is my career, the another slide is actually, you know, my wife, my kids, and my friends, and other stuff. So, but through that book, we are going to share why a lot of men and women, after 5 years, after 6 years, they feel bored and they can't handle each other anymore, and there is no sweet love anymore in between them. And why men and women, after 6 and maybe 10 years, not understanding each other's or each other's language, and the sex life is not actually working. What's going on? The same chemistry was about 10 years ago is not even working anymore. So how you can hit this up with knowing how this pizza slide and the sweet cake layers work together.
That's beautiful. No, it's so good because the statistic is that 50% of all marriages end in divorce. So there's something in there about gluten-free. We won't go there, but we'll get.
I love that.
We'll
Actually, that's fantastic. I love it.
But I think it's going to be such a contribution to so many people. So I'm really happy you're doing that.
Oh, thank you.
What's your husband's name? Let's give him a.
Rick.
Rick.
Yeah,
All right,
Mr. Rick. So Rick is an amazing entrepreneur. Fantastic dad, an amazing husband, and I mean it. I'm a busy woman, 24 hours and 7 days working with a million projects, but he is also doing the same things, but he's always there for our kids. We have 3 boys, 1 and 2.5, 5.5, and 7.5, as I remember. So, and they love him so much, and I'm so happy and lucky to have him as a husband, because without him, I wouldn't really become a successful person today. Because when you have everything cozy and happy at home, kids is happy and they're connected to themselves, then make you to feel powerful to continue, encourage you to try to bring, money, love, passion, whatever they want in their life. But if he wasn't there, I wouldn't even do any of those, because my mind couldn't even actually settle in one thing, focus on one thing, and I couldn't be a multitasker.
Beautiful. Well, good for him and good for you.
Thank you.
I'm so happy. I'm looking forward to the book.
Absolutely, me too. Let's see if women gonna hate him or love him, or if men gonna love me or hate me. I don't know. Let's say we figure it out later on.
I'm sure we will. Great.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Why you choose me to co-author with me?
I think you're an amazing being. You're one of the most fascinating people I've ever met. And I think you have deep, deep wisdom to impart with the world. And I want that wisdom out there. So anything I can do to support that and getting your message out, your energy out, having people realize you're a resource that's valuable, I would do that in a minute.
And by the way, I am also invited for 2 shows, like a reality shows, which is on their production already. Hopefully coming next year, and I would love to have you in one of my shows.
I would love to.
I can't wait.
My pleasure.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either. That's exciting.
It's super exciting.
Well, I just see you at the top of a cliff, just diving off into the space and doing amazing things.
Yeah, exactly. Well, always my husband says, when someone says no to you, you get more challenge. I says, of course. Then never say no to me. So I was that's exactly what I say no to you, because I know exactly how to challenge you. So no to me is all challenge, and challenge to me is happiness, love, and prosperity. And I think challenge means that change the directions, feel happy again, and find your niche. Just every each of us has some talent, but not every each of us knows exactly how to use this talent. And just tap into the abilities that you have, that I always tell you guys. And I read all your books, and that's exactly what you says all the time. Find the real purpose of your life, and when you find the real purpose, then you know how to live. And that's exactly what I did. I found my purpose. My purpose is all about helping others, as you do. Very true.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. My purpose has always been inspiring and empowering people to live their highest vision. Exactly. The highest power, the divine energies, the divine love. And everything actually is possible with divine love. Everything. Everything. I think we'll end with that. That's a good statement. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All right, so you heard it here, and it's all available to you, and you deserve it. And so there are many places to go to receive that, but this woman here is one of the great supporters of your evolution. And so it's think about this as we end this show, that so many times opportunities come in front of you to actually give you the very thing you're looking for. And sometimes we pass it up. So don't do that this time. Take advantage of what she has to offer you. So thanks for joining us. Remember, everything's possible with divine love. You are divine love. And we're all here together to serve each other. And so I hope tonight or today, whenever you're watching this, that you've been served by us. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week on Talking About Success.
naturally to me. I never decide for any of those messages. The only responsibility that I have is that I have to deliver the messages.
What was your reading like with Persian medium?
Oh my god, I love her. So I actually had a moment with her when she was walking in. She came by our table for water, and it was just like, whew. That's how I felt.
Are you gonna like come back for more? Oh yeah.
You don't even leave it. It was all kind of things I kind of knew. I felt intuitively guided. It's nice to feel her tap into those deeper places and I guess reveal hidden places that I sense and feel, but have her kind of present them.
She said, I'm going to meet a man who's going to come right to me. It's been quite a while, and if that happens, I'm going to be in huge debt to her.
This was a great reading today because it lifts my spirit. Spirits have been depressed for a while because of adverse happenings going on. I'm very pleased about that.
I went to her workshop yesterday and it was awesome. Yes, and I got her book, so I'm excited about that.
Well, this is the only reading I've done, and it's the only reading I would do. And it's because I just know that.
She told me things that I already knew. And then she also told me things that I was surprised with. Like she could read me. Like things I was in denial of, she was actually reading what I was in denial of. So it was wonderful.
It was happening.
I didn't say a word. She just knew exactly how I felt about it.
You know, she's absolutely right. So it's kind of like you have the answers inside somewhere, and she kind of validated what I was thinking.
If you're a person that trying to, make your sense or see your sensualities in your emotion, your vision, imagination, your subconscious mind, get close to that power, then you can see, feel, and connect to the spirit. Welcome to Abbott Awakening, a beautiful, gorgeous wellness center who will adjust you mentally, emotionally, and physically. Also, it will help you to manifest your finance, anything and everything you desire for. This place is a very beautiful place which is located in Corona Del Mar. So please book your appointment today.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
And now, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl with Tanya Reid. Live from AustraliaPsychicCowgirl.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Australia's Psychic Cowgirl on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
G'day, Tonya Reeves, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl, coming at you from Sunday Creek. I got to be outside today because the sun's out. A little bit windy, but hey, other than that, great day here. We're so fortunate. It's around 28 degrees in our temperatures over here. I know it's different for you guys in the States, so I'm not sure on what Fahrenheit is. I'm sure Dave will soon tell me what that is because he's pretty up with all of that. So, yeah, lovely sunny day here, and we are enjoying being outside, and it's not too hot, so that's been really cool. Fires and things are gradually been getting under control over here, but there's still been a lot of, background things that have been happening with, the animals that have been burnt and even people that have suffered burns as well. So, yeah, that's still been ongoing and will be ongoing for a while, but it is nice to see a bit of a break in the conditions and things, being under control. So that's pretty cool. 82 degrees Fahrenheit is what Dave's telling me. I'm going to learn this, ready for when I come over there to visit you all. Can't wait. So, yeah, it's on the cards. But, yeah, that'll be cool. So, anyway, I hope your week's been fine. We've had energetically lots of stuff happening. A lot of people have still been thrown a few curveballs, things that have changed, situations that have changed. So just bear with it at the moment because you're not, on your own with going through a bit of turmoil, if that's what you're finding for you at the moment. For some of us, it's just about regrouping, being held back a little bit. So we're getting hold-ups in the way of, maybe applying for jobs and not hearing back, and it taking a bit longer to be able to, find out our momentum going forward. But again, don't worry about it. Sometimes we're held up for a reason, and, that can just be that timing and energetically with things, happening. It's a bit of a waiting game. So there's a few that have been waiting or getting signs and not being clear of the signs. Sometimes just taking a deep breath and actually consolidating all of that will tend to help you through the current energies. We're coming into the new moon this weekend here in Australia. It will be the same, not far off for you guys over in America and Canada and all there overseas from here. And you will be finding that it's a great time to sit down and write what you want to bring in. Get really clear on the manifesting for your 2020 because the energy around this year is very. I feel like I'm on repeat, but to me, the 2020 is like 2020 vision. We're able to see clearly. So we want to be clear. So if we want to bring that clarity into our lives, we need to also make sure we're clear to the universe. What is it that you want? Don't be wishy-washy about it. Get clear. Be precise. So really have a think about it. Writing it down around the new moon is a great way to manifest things. We've got a retreat coming up this Sunday, so it's perfect timing, which I'm pretty excited about. So we've got an awesome group of ladies coming together. Absolutely awesome. So, we always do get a great group, but I love to see how, we get a lot of people come together with similarities, and, the reason for that is that we all are, replicas of each other to a certain degree, and sometimes it can be similar circumstances or things that we've been through. So, yeah, it's going to be really great. Can't wait for Sunday, so not far away. What else are we going to touch on just before I start my reads? Also, criticising others and self. It was something I was listening to Louise Hay on my audiobooks the other day, and I went, you know what, I need to remind us, myself included, that when we're criticizing or sitting in judgment, and sometimes that's towards others and other times it can be towards ourselves, just be aware of our inner critic. So, sometimes we find under circumstances it just comes out and we can't help it. But what I say is, if you're mindful of that, that inner voice, are we looking in judgment at others for certain things? We need to be aware of what we're judging them for or what we're noticing about them as things that need healing within us. So always remember that. We're all uniquely different, and if you want to be accepted for being unique and different, you have to accept others for being the way that they are. So I really think it's a great reminder. It's one that we can all revisit from time to time and say, okay, where are my thoughts taking me? Is that, productive for me? Is that helping me to be the best version of myself? And, really question that. And remember, there's no such thing as a perfect person. We are all imperfectly perfect. So take away the judgment, especially on yourself. Start to go, you know what? Okay, I'm not perfect, but I'm going to accept myself as I am. And it's an absolute powerful tool. And for this year's energy, we want to start loving on ourselves. It's really, really important. I've got a great night in Wallen next week with a fantastic group of local ladies, and we'll be doing a lot on self-love. So if anyone, in around Wallen or, local areas, I'm going to be doing a talk. It's at the community centre, I'm pretty sure, Wallen Multipurpose Centre. Get down there. They're a great group of girls to catch up and have an amazing array of people that come to these catch-ups and a lot of shared insights and things. But I'll be just touching on self-love, how we can nurture that for ourselves, and how we can accept ourselves as we are. So it's really important. But if you're local, pop down and say good day. I'd love to see you there. Okay, I'm going to go to my first caller. Oh, I've got an Aussie. I know exactly where this is. Samantha in Wheelers Hill, Victoria. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Tonya. You do know me.
Oh, my God. I do know Sam. So it's like not just your location.
I know. I'm too funny. Okay.
Yes. All right.
I'm off work at the moment. So, yes, well,
oh, wow.
I've had a few challenges, and I was just hoping there would be some joy this year.
Yeah, okay. So we're getting rid of the last of the stuff. So can I ask, has there been setbacks? So I know that, we caught up last year and you had things in motion for things to be tidied up. So we've had a few things that haven't as yet been resolved. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Been a lot of delays.
I feel like on a specific. Yeah, specifically two things. There's something about releasing. We need to release it's almost like, okay, what Spirit is showing me, it's almost like we have an expectation. I know we want to manifest things, so that's great. We can put that out there. But for you, I need to release any expectations right at this point in time. So I need to let go of not only the process, but what's going to happen from now. It's almost like once you energetically release it, it's going to come to you quicker. So it's definitely coming.
Okay.
And I know the energy this year is there's a little bit of disruption still happening. Even though, it is a really big year and there's really great stuff coming, we're also being reminded of the yin and yang balance. So it's a little bit like, yes, I know the big picture is great, but it's almost like we're being pulled back for some of us to go, yeah, there can still be hiccups in the road, and it's a little bit about how we deal with them as to how quickly we get through them. Sam, can I ask, it's funny, I've connected with Sam before, but not with Spirit. So is it Mum in Spirit, the lady coming through for you? Because she's quite strong around you.
I think it'll be my mum's sister.
Okay.
My auntie.
And she was like mum for you. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like she's coming through mothering and nurturing. And I feel like she was the one that's like you could run to her. So I feel like she's showing me she had almost like I want to go like a safe space that you could run to.
Yes.
Like that's what she's showing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that's what she's showing me.
Yeah,
Special.
and in spirit. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Because it's like she's put her hand up to be mum and connecting for you, and that's why I was a little bit like, is this mum? Because she's very motherly, and that's the way she looks at you. Yeah. There's something around. What's the reference to earrings with her, or there's something I feel like I'm she's holding on to my ears for some reason.
We always had jewelry, a love for jewelry that we always shared with each other. So I'm not sure if there's anything like with earrings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any, but yeah.
Right, there's just something, I feel like I'm referencing something around earrings, and it's almost like symbolically. So it might be that you come across some earrings. She's showing me that in spirit she comes through. I feel like I'm referencing butterflies. It's to do with a bit of transformation, and it's like she's around you at the moment to help you with that, and I'm transitioning. So it's like she's showing me there's, I am the butterfly, so I've actually gone past the caterpillar, but I'm blossoming a bit more, and I feel like I'm blossoming into be more than one. She's showing me one turning into many.
One turning into many. Ooh.
Yeah. So interesting. It's like you're gathering support people as you go, and I feel like I want to say there's some new people in amongst that.
Yes, well, I've tossed out a lot of people, so I've got plenty of room for new people.
Yeah. So where's the contracts being signed also? She's showing me you signing contracts. So are we waiting on something to be signed? Or it's going to come back to you ready to be signed? Yeah, okay. So
so I'm waiting for the court papers. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like she's showing me not that far. So don't, even though it might feel like, oh my God, is it ever going to come around? I feel like I want to go to the next few weeks. So 2 to 3 weeks, it's coming to you. Like it's not that far away is what she's showing me. And I do want to say, have you already taken something back? So have you been offered something and you've gone, no, I'm not going to settle for that, and made them go back?
We did like with the settlement, and there's another job coming up which I haven't been offered the job, but I'm sort of thinking it's not going to be for me.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's something around, like I feel like she's showing me towards a settlement. It's like don't settle. There is a bit more it's almost like you could push her a bit more if you want to. So it's almost like if you counter offered, there's something around that there can be more in this. So it's almost like I want to say, look at the details, check out what you're signing, and go, if I want a bit more, or I'm feeling like there's something that needs adjusting, she's showing me to tell you to do it. Okay?
Okay.
Right? But this is to do with signing the contracts. All right? As far as work goes, it's almost like what isn't suited for you is not going to come up. So I'm not getting the opportunities that aren't suitable, or even if you went for something that isn't suitable, you're going to be knocked back. So know that you're being knocked back because there's something better.
Okay.
All right? And she's showing me you're doing something
I'm not
different.
working at the moment.
No, you're going to get offered something that's different to what you've done before, and it's exciting. And you're going to go, oh, wow, I've never thought of it before. So I feel like it's something that comes out of the blue, and she's showing me it's to do with somebody you already know. So it's like somebody's going to recommend you or say to you, how about, hey, Sam, have you thought about doing this? And are you going to be, because I can see she's showing me you going, no, I've never thought of doing that, but hey, that would be good. So it's something different.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't feel like, I know you're saying that you're not working, but it's almost like for you this year, everything has to be in alignment. So if it's not a right fit, you're going to get the no's. So don't think it's you. It's just the universe going, nah, you've had enough of doing stuff that you don't like. You've had enough of not being happy with what you're doing. We're going to give you something that you're happy with. So don't worry about that.
Okay. All right.
Right. And I don't feel like not that far away.
Yeah, good. It's been a long time. It's like I'm running out of steam, Tonya.
Oh,
I just
absolutely.
feel
And you think how much faith
exhausted.
can you have before you want to, you want to scream and go, what? Why is it not working? And I also say, though, for many this year, this year's been a slow burn. So it's a little bit like last year we jumped in really fast in, January. I remember last year it was like heaps of stuff, bang, happening. But this year it's almost like the opportunities are still coming, but it's slow, and we're all getting a bit like, oh, my God, I'm going to pull my hair out. What the hell is happening? Why is it not, why aren't we already in motion? But I do feel like that's lifting. So you're already into Feb, sort of mid to 3/4 of the way through Feb, things are going to pacing up. It's almost like, I don't know, for whatever reason, this year it's middle of Feb. So I forget January.
Okay,
it's gone.
Forget January. Oh, thank you, Tanya. I'm going to let you get to your next caller.
Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, see you soon. Bye.
Thanks, Sam. Bye. All right, I've got Debbie, my next caller from Warrangary, Queensland. Another Aussie. Hi, Deb.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Can you hear me? I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I can. Isn't it funny? I get the Aussies come on, and I know that I can call Samantha Sam, and I know I can call Debbie Deb, because it's like, it's such an Aussie thing for us to do, isn't it? We just automatically shorten everything.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Great to connect with you, Deb. All right, there's some changes happening for you. I want to instantly, as soon as I connected and I'm reading out your name, there's some changes in the wind for you, which is you relate to this opportunity around at the moment?
A relationship opportunity? Sorry?
No, just an opportunity happening for you at the moment. There's something you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and there's something you haven't done before. So they're not going into detail, but I have to share that with you.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. A lot of changes happening for you, and I want to say specifically part of that message for you is the best is yet to come, and it's like their spirit are laughing, sharing this with me. It's like, tell her the best is yet to come, because it's almost like you're going to go,
oh, wow. Awesome. Yeah. I can't wait.
Okay, now going to... It's so cool. I want to say there's a male coming through in spirit for you, and I feel like I want to go to dad or dad's side. And it's like he's a country kind of guy. So I feel like I've got a flannelette shirt, and I feel like he's part of where I am, in the country. It's like he's stepping up around at the moment. And I feel like for you, there's something around you put in boundaries. So it's like he's showing me, in his way, he's showing me like I'm putting a fence up and I'm staking my claim. So I feel like for you, I'm stepping into a commitment, and this is mine. I'm grabbing onto this. It's quite funny what he's showing me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, yay! And I feel like I want to say to you, it is about time. Like everyone's in spirit's been waiting for this. So it's like, yay!
Funny enough, I was just talking to a friend about a situation, and I just said to her, I'm going to have to put in some boundaries about this situation I was talking to her about. So,
yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, and it really is. It's about for you, and it's almost like you've found your voice. So I feel like there's been revelations where you've gone, you know what, I've got to that point in life where I'm not taking other people's crap. I'm going to step up to the plate here, and I'm going to start to look after myself. So it's almost like I don't need to tell you that, because you're already, you're on the road with that. But it's almost like with that and the fact that you're doing that, that's bringing in the opportunities, and it's like there's big change around you. I also want to say I'm going to the beach, or something connected to the beach, because I feel like the water's choppy, so I don't know whether I'm traveling on a holiday or I'm heading in that direction, but there's something around, and I know Queensland, there's lots of water up where you are possibly around you, but I'm getting the beach for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me see. I'm just trying to see what he's showing me because I felt like I wanted to go to holiday, but there's also something for you around relocation, your big picture. So I feel like that's something you've already considered.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a positive step for you. And it's like I'm changing. And I do want to say, or what Spirit is showing me is it will be great for you and also great for the family. So it's like you're going to change things up and you're going to inspire others on the way that'll be like, oh, look at what she's done. Because I feel like, is there 2 children for you, Deb?
No, there's 6 children.
6? Oh, wow. Are they all at home with you?
Three of them live at home. Sorry, what was that?
All right. Yeah. So, because I feel like they're going to be excited as well. There's something around a reference. Well, I felt like when I was going to children, there was two similar, but it's like you making that move is going to be a benefit to everyone. And it's like fresh start. This is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. And I feel like for you, with that consideration of movement, things will fall into place and be smooth. It's almost like, when we make a decision to change things, we get all these offers of help, we get opportunities that come up. I just feel like for you, it'll fall into place as it needs to. You won't have to be thinking, oh, what about this or what about that? It's almost like it'll flow on from here. And also Spirit's showing me this year for you is about that. So you've done the speed humps, you've done, like the diversions, I want to say last year. It's almost like you're on track and then you're suddenly off track for whatever reason. And this year you're not going to have to contend with that.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm tired of the hurdles and the speed bumps. Yeah, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like you're a very hard worker and it's like it's about time that you got some things coming back to you because it's like they're showing me, you're always go above and beyond doing what you do and it's time to, take it. I feel like for you this year there's an aspect of taking it a bit easier. So with the opportunity, with what you're doing for work, it's going to be not as backbreaking as it has been in the past. So I feel like it's a bit easier for you.
Yeah. Yep, I understand that.
There's one of the children I want to go to at the moment that's struggling, but I feel like it's one of the ones that's already left home. That it's almost like Spirit is just showing me to say he's going to. I feel like I want to go to him. They're showing me he's going to be all right. So I don't know whether he's trying to find his feet at the moment, and he's maybe not off the rails, but a little bit like you're feeling a bit like, oh my God, what's he going to do next? It's like Spirit is showing me that he will be okay. So it's almost like we just want to tell you that and just confirm that he will be fine. It's just I want to go to being a stage or just a short period. Does that make sense? If you're still there, I think. I did hear a
yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, you're so good, Deb. I thought I heard it sounded like the phone going, and I'm like, I'll just keep talking because with these shows you can go back and listen to it once it's shared on the broadcast, so you'll be able to, anything you think you missed, you can come back and have a listen. Does that make sense? So is that a son that's not at home with you that's going through this bit of turmoil?
Yes, it does. Yeah, because last year he developed schizophrenia.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's sort of like off the rails bit in his mind. And, yeah.
But there's stability around that. It's like, and I've got the right medication. I'm feeling right, and I know myself. I've got a daughter that's been diagnosed with bipolar. So, the mental health challenge is a grueling one. And for a mother, it's a very, very hard path to walk. But I want to say, you've done an amazing job. And it's like he's pretty clever. And I feel like with him, there's a lot of gifts that will come out of this for him. as in what he does with his life.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything for a relationship?
Okay. Is there somebody that's just started, or Spirit is showing me there's somebody that's kind of like stepped in, but I feel like you're not fully committed to them, but they're around you at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some reservations there. I want to say more on your part, because you're a bit like, I don't know about this. Can I ask, are they different or very different to any previous partnership you've had before?
Yeah, very more loving, very more caring, and we were just living together, and then
it's almost like you're a bit scared. It's like I'm scared to fully, it's like I'm dipping my toe in the water, but I'm not quite there yet to go jumping in fully. And it's totally understandable with what you've been through, but I do feel with this partner stepping in, it's like that's the attributes and the way that they are is exactly fitting for you.
So he's what for me? Sorry.
He's quite fitting for you, I want to say.
It's right for me.
Like it's almost like there's a feeling around, or what Spirit's showing me, you're a bit like too good to be true, so you're a little bit like, I'm not sure about this, but I feel with him, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So don't be scared, but I feel like I want to say to you, it's quite, with what you've been through, totally understanding that you are a little bit hesitant, and that will be fine, because I feel like he's in it for the long haul and the right reason. So don't be scared of, if you want to take things at your own pace, you're not going to push him away easily is what they're showing me.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of weird, because we moved in together 3 weeks ago, and yesterday he told me to pack my bag, so I moved back out again.
Has he not had a lot of experience in relationships? Because there's something around, like, I feel like there's a hesitation from both sides, but what Spirit was showing me, it was a little bit more from you than him. But I feel like in you saying that, he needs to find his feet with this. It's a little bit different to what he's used to.
Yeah.
So there's a scared...
He was married for 35 years, but he was an interstate truck driver, so he never really spent much time at home anyway.
Yeah.
And when he was home, it was pretty sour.
I feel like I've got a good heart, like connecting with his energy. I think he's got a big heart, but it's like he's got to sort of get to the feel of things easily. But I do want to say to you, don't give up your power to go, you know what? It's my terms here as well. So we've got two strong personalities. I feel like you both might be either fire signs or quite dominant, but it's not a bad thing. So often our soul connections are quite challenging. So I want to say to you, don't give up.
Yeah.
All right. I have to go because I've run out of time. Thank you so much for connecting. So hang in there. You've got this. All right.
Okay. Cool. Thank you very much for calling me back.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you. Take
care. Bye.
Australia Psychic Cowgirl signing off on your ears. Woohoo!
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page. Facebook.com/Psychic Radio.
Or one of our websites.
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Elliot coming to you live from the city of New York, where, let me see, it's a little late now. It's been a week, but I bet if I open up my window, because I'm so near Times Square, I do this every year, I could probably hear the echoes of the million people who are out there. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the echo is still bouncing around the concrete canyons of the city of New York. So here we are in the third decade of the 21st century. Now, if that doesn't sound like Buck Rogers' time, I don't know. I mean, I still remember when I had to call a guy to put a new tube into the TV set, and here we are in the solid state environment of the third decade of the 21st century. I am glad to be here. I missed a few shows. I should explain that to everybody. I was getting along nice and peacefully and happy, and everything was going well just before Christmas when my doorbell, and who was there but Mr. Influenza, knocked me out, and I had a not terrible flu. I've had a year and a half ago, I think it was. I had the worst flu of my life, but this was bad enough. You could probably hear my voice is a little raspy still, and my nose is a little clogged, but I'm here. I was afraid that if I went on the air, I would give everybody else a flu. I know it doesn't work that way, but I feel that way. I feel a bond between the people I talk to and myself, and I would hate to get you infected. But we've got a lot of new stuff coming up for this year. I've got plans for 2020. One of the things tarot does so well is it lets you look into the future. And I didn't need that for this. I have my own plans for the future, and I'm going to explain to you. I've been doing this for a number of years now, and strictly radio. I'm just a radio guy. I love radio. It's so intimate, and it's just my voice in your head, and your voice coming back to me. It's beautiful. And but I'm going to force myself into the 21st century, and I will be doing a few video shows this year, so you can see me messing around with the cards. You can see me doing that. We're working out the details just to get a good look, but I will be doing that. I am so into radio that I once did a time travel meditation not all that long ago, and I went back to 1946, and I attended the recording of a Bing Crosby radio show in Rockefeller Center in Radio City. How do you like them apples? Anybody can do it. And by the way, that was the whole thing. Bing Crosby owned the rights to the thing called a tape recorder. Look into that sometime. It's like the guy wasn't rich enough, right? He owned the tape recorder. The tape recorder, nobody cared about it for radio. They wanted it to be live. But Crosby was notoriously lazy, and he loved the idea that a tape recorder meant that he didn't have to do the show at any particular time. He could do it at his own convenience. So I went back in time, and I had a ball. I had a great time doing that. And now, how do you do time travel meditation? Simple. Now, if you think I'm going to say I've written a book on that and go right into a plug, forget it. This is not a plug for me at all. There's a wonderful book out there. It's been around for years and years. It's a slim little volume, and it's called Practical Time Travel. You should check that out. You can find it at used book places, websites. eBay generally has a few of them. They're not expensive at all, and it'll provide you with wonderful experiences. It's called Practical Time Travel. One of the most interesting things that I found you can do with it is go back to things in your life that you wish you could redo. Now, for those of you who say it's all in your mind, everything is all in your mind. Everything we see is, this is going to sound freaky, but everything we see and hear and smell and touch and taste is just a hallucination that our brain creates based on the sensory input that these organs, our eyes and ears and skin receive, because it's all happening. Now, the real question is the mind alone, Or is everybody's mind connected? Now, we've all had that experience where we say, this happened to me just a few days ago. We were sitting here discussing a friend of ours in Chicago, and the phone rang, and guess who it was? Our friend from Chicago. So we've all had those things happen. So the question is there such a thing as a group mind? And you can find some interesting discussions on YouTube about that. Just look into, what is his name? Sheldrake, Rupert Sheldrake. He's a scientist who is so radical in his thinking that other scientists have called for his books to be burned. How do you like that for the Dark Ages? You don't even need to go back to Galileo, folks. There's a scientist operating today who is called a heretic. There's a wonderful article in a British newspaper about him that refers to him as going against scientific dogma. Now, what in the world is science doing with dogma? Forget it. So now I'm bringing this up for several reasons. Most of them are self-serving, of course. People who are really severely into science, and that's just a cop-out as far as I'm concerned. It's just a way to avoid reality as we make it. They will tell you that things like tarot don't work. They will tell you that things like telekinesis, making things move with your mind, doesn't work. I don't know how to say it other than it works. That sounds like a silly argument, but anybody can do it and anyone can try it. And if you can, let's say it's imagination, all of this stuff like time travel through meditation. It has been shown time and again in the world of science that imagining an event happening to you has exactly the same effect on your body as actually having that experience happen, because there's no difference. Everything we see is our mind. I go into that. Here comes the plug. I go into that in my own book called Reverend Elliot Explains It All, about the nature of reality and what it is and what it isn't. We make it, but reality is what we all agree upon. Reality is the hallucination that we find in common. Now the question is, do we all see the same thing? It gets deep. And science won't go into that because they feel it's mystic. It's the province of religion, they think, which is, what overlaps more between science and religion than quantum physics? Mercifully, that's breaking down these barriers that have been erected since the Dark Ages. So that's good. And we're going to engage in a practical demonstration of that today. That's right. Right now, we're going to be reading the tarot cards. Now, remember, I said that looking at tarot, you can see the future, but you can also do something. If you don't like what you see, you can do something. If you do like what you see, you can make it stronger. You can make it better. The future is a very strange thing because it doesn't really exist. It's always now. It's like that. Remember from Alice in Wonderland, or was it Alice Through the Looking Glass? The law was jam yesterday and jam tomorrow, but never jam today. It's like that sign they used to have in the old saloons that said free beer tomorrow, and then you come back tomorrow, ask for free beer. See, there goes the remnants of that flu, and they'll point to the sign and say, "Sorry, Mac, free beer tomorrow." And that's the nature of time. That is actually one of the most profound examples of why we shouldn't be wasting so much time fretting about the future, since the future never really comes in that regard. But we can take a look at what the potential future is. That's the beauty of tarot. People have been using tarot cards for hundreds, some say thousands of years. You can also see that in my book, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, which is a book that'll teach you how to do what you hear me doing here every week when I'm, erect, when I'm upright, when I'm not horizontal with a thermometer in my mouth. Pardon me. There it goes again. So I'm just glad to be back. I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. And, I slept through my birthday even. I was just so sick. My birthday falls shortly after New Year's. So it's always a New Year for me. No, here's the good news, though. I've been doing readings for people. This is the time of year that people get readings to look at private readings to look into the year ahead. And so because so many people do it only this time of year, I take 15% off the price, and I call it my year-end special. But I'm pushing that forward a little bit. I think I had to do the same thing last year. I get these colds and flus like clockwork at New Year. So I'm expanding that. So we're going to keep it going into 2020. So if you want to contact me for a private reading, anywhere from a $10 email reading all the way up to an hour or more, you can check out the prices at magic-works.com. magic-works.com. There's a whole bunch of stuff there at my website that I do. Then just we'll knock off 15%. If you want to you want to take off a little more, we'll take off a little more. It's a new year. We got to celebrate. We've got to give back. We're going to do something to honor the return of the whole cycle. It's January again, my favorite month. Honestly, I don't know why January is my favorite month, except I like it. Maybe it's because I like beginnings, which is kind of odd because I really don't like change. I mean, I find change inordinately stressful. And yet here I enjoy when the calendar flips and it's new. So there you go. Time for some readings. Here's what we're going to do, what we do every show. I'm going to ring a bell 3 times to declare sacred space. I've already got some candles burning. I've got the frankincense burning. Oh, we've got a beautiful environment to get mystical and look into the future and look into the past and look into our lives. That rarely happens, by the way. People rarely consult a tarot reader to look into the past, but we can do that. That kind of stuff is fun. So anyway, we are going to declare sacred space as the show goes on. I'll tell you a bit more about what I do, how you can contact me, how you can find books that will help change your life. But let's dive right into it because I miss doing this. And now we're going to pull back the curtain on the magical window for our first reading, and that is for Alyssa in St. Louis, Missouri. Hi, Alyssa. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing tonight?
How are you? I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. Like I said, I was knocked out with a flu for a couple of weeks, but I'm back, and I'm glad to be back. So what can I look at for you?
Well, I just recently lost my grandpa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
He was oh, thank you.
So would you like to look to see if there's anything surrounding that?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, let's see what we've got. I'm going to shuffle up the cards a bit. So you're looking particularly for a message from him?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's see. I always preface these kind of readings by saying I don't do them very often, but when the cards give definite indications that I can do it, I enjoy doing that because there's so much. There's so little we know about the other side, as we put it. But let's just see what we've got here. Well, I'm getting cards. They're fascinating cards. First and foremost, there are 2 cards that I look for when I do readings of this sort to see if I'm on the right track. And one of them is the death card, which, of course, symbolically will refer to passing. And I just got that card. So we're on the right track here. Oddly enough, now the cards I got are very happy. They're showing growth and movement and energy and success and a person who's in a place that's very contented. The Ace of Cups is there, which is the beginning of happiness and joy and emotion, good positive emotions. The 7 of Rods is a person who can sweep away all obstacles, and the World is a card that means great success. And of course, in terms of death, now, this is the other card that I talk about. I said there are 2 cards I look for when I do this kind of reading. The other one is the High Priestess, which is a person who sees behind the veil, and I just got that card too. So this is a reassurance that, yes, I am making contact here on your behalf. And I'm seeing a person who is content and who is happy. And there's a card here called the 4 of Swords, which is about a person who is taking a break from things. In life readings, that's, it's about time to pull back and relax and let things just to percolate. And that's what I'm seeing, is that this year we're seeing a person who the struggles are over. The 7 of Rods is about sweeping away obstacles, which means troubles and obstacles. But it's a good card, but it still meant that there were obstacles. So what I'm seeing is somebody whose troubles are over, who's relaxing, who is, the world means part of the whole world now, and the Ace of Cups means of a happy time. I think that what we're seeing here is a person who has run his course on Earth and in the next phase of existence is quite content and quite happy and doing quite well. Now that could lead to something new. It could continue, but I'm not getting anything indicating any terrible suffering or loss or pain. I'm seeing somebody who has just naturally gone to the next side, and the High Priestess shows that we are looking at the life behind the veil. What kind of person was he?
He was a very happy person. He always was smiling. He struggled. He was sick for a very long time. He had cancer. So he always, when he was in and out of the hospital, he was always smiling in his hospital bed. He always tried to make everyone else smile.
That's absolutely perfect, considering that the card I have here that I started with is the Ace of Cups. The aces are beginnings, and that's happiness and joy. This is a person who made other people happy, and that's reflected in that card. The sweeping away of obstacles, of course, that will relate to the difficulties of the final years because of the illness, but something that he dealt with easily and handily, and took it as it came. And now we see a person who's at rest and at peace, and that's just, it's a beautiful reading that way. And I think there's nothing to be. I mean, obviously, we're always sad when we lose somebody, and nobody should tell you how you should feel about it. But if it's just something to consider, that what the cards are showing is a person who is at peace and who is still happy. That's why it's amazing what you tell me about him, because the first card I had was about great happiness. So there you go. So I think he's doing fine where he is. I hope that helps, Alyssa.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
And as soon as the show is over, I'm going to light a nice white candle to send positive energy in your name to his spirit. How is that?
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And let's shuffle up the cards. You're listening to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window. Reverend Elliot, that's me, your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner. If you want to know more about what I do, and gee, that was a nice reading. And, death is such a creepy thing, because somebody's here and then somebody isn't. There's so much poetry written over the years by people about that, about death, and yet it could very well be the beginning of something else, or the continuation of it. There's there is an old story. I mean old. I don't mean old like black and white television. It's somebody asked the Buddha how many lifetimes we go through, and Buddha said, "Imagine a mountain, and a bird flies over the mountain with a silk scarf in the bird's beak, and the scarf brushes across the mountain, and the bird appears once every 1,000 years. We exist as long as it takes that scarf to wear down that mountain." Now, that's heavy stuff, So we may be in this for the long haul. We may all be doing this again and again and again. Who knows? But there was an interesting set of cards there. So anyway, you want to know more about what I do and things that I can do for you and with you, check out magic-works.com, magic-works.com. That's where you'll find the price list for tarot readings. And remember, it's 15% off for the new year. Lisa in Santa Fe, New Mexico is next. Hi, Lisa. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, Reverend Elliot. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I'm great. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I can't believe it. I still remember celebrating when 1965 rolled around.
Oh, you don't.
Another year old.
That was an interesting story you shared about the Buddha and the number of incarnations.
Yeah, that's. I don't know to feel happy or not about that, but don't we ever get signs about that? Don't you? You meet somebody and you get the feeling that you've known them before. And it's things like that are just, it's just fascinating to me.
Yeah.
So anyway,
and, go ahead.
What can we look at tonight?
I'd like to look at career.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because I had just been shuffling the cards while you're doing this, and the first cards I have on top are about money and work. So I think we're on the right track here. So I'll just start with those cards, and then I'll shuffle them up and maybe pull some more here. The first two cards I have are the King of Rods and the King that you're very good at managing and running your career, your work, and your financial life. The Three of Rods is an interesting card because the threes are fascinating in tarot because they're about completion, and this is about a person who is waiting for something to happen. It's waiting for something new to come along. Now not just out of nowhere. I mean, this is a person who's planted the seeds and is waiting for them to bear fruit. The traditional picture on many tarot cards is a person looking out over a bay with several ships there, and that person is sending out those ships laden with cargo and will be waiting for the return. The next card I have is the Ace of Rods, which is about a new work. The aces are beginnings, and rods are about career and work. So it looks like there's a new job, new work coming your way. Are you looking for new work?
I'm looking for, I'm a singer, so I'm looking for more opportunities, more gigs, yes, more bookings.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing here. And you're good at that. You're good at managing both the career and the financial aspect of it. Let me see if I can get you anything deeper here, because so far all they're really doing is telling you things you already know. Well, the Ten of Cups is here. That's a card of perfected happiness. These are good. The Ace of Cups is here. We get a lot of aces for people around the new year. It's because it's time for beginnings. And the Sun, which is a card of growth and healing and all the wonderful things that come from the sun. This looks like it's going to be a very positive year for you career-wise, and a happy one and a fulfilling one.
Well, that's fantastic. Those are some of my favorite cards.
Oh, excellent! They're very upbeat. You must be a very positive person too.
Yeah, I would say so.
So, what kind of singing do you do?
It's jazz.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working with a classical guitarist, and so we're looking at that space in between jazz and classical music, and
wonderful.
Sort of forging our own way.
I knew somebody many years ago who did that. It was a guitarist. I think he played a 12-string guitar. Is there such a thing as 12-string, or is my memory playing tricks on me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he was like a wizard to watch, because he would play the classical stuff, but it was definitely jazz influenced. So that's heavy stuff. That's beautiful stuff. Well, let me tell you something. I got one more card here for you, which I think you'll like. It's the Nine of Coins. Now, the Nine of Coins is about an investment that pays off. Now, obviously, the investment here is the work you're putting into this, into yourself, and this is a card about it paying off. I think a lot of stuff is going to come together for you this year.
Fantastic. I've definitely been putting in the action, taking the action.
And that's really what it is. That's where it takes. It's that kind of hard work. I was around the entertainment business for years and years, and I've seen this stuff just hit for so many people who were fully prepared for it, because it was just a natural outgrowth of them doing the work. It wasn't, walking down the street and going into Schwab's drugstore and being discovered. You know that a lot of people don't realize that it's a great deal of work. All the professional actors I knew spent more time auditioning than actually acting, and they would still take classes because it's all about the work, and you're doing the work. That's why, you see, there's nothing glamorous in these cards. These are cards about work. And you're doing the work, and that's the first sign of success, is just doing the work.
Yeah, it's true. It's only glamorous when you look at it from the outside.
Well, that's the illusion that it was projected. You know, I mean, there's that famous line from George Burns about success in show business. He said the key to success is sincerity. Once you can fake that, you've got it made.
Is in what?
He says sincerity is the key to success. Once you can fake that, you've got it made. So, but there's a lot of truth in just the idea that it's about a lot of work and work. Now, let me tell you this. I've pulled a couple more cards here. And one card that I find interesting is the Seven of Cups. And that's telling me that you have a lot of ideas. And that's that your mind is filled with ideas. And they may not all be very focused, because it's a card of unfocused ideas. It's a card that a lot of people don't like. I love that card, because I'd rather have a whole bunch of ideas and then none at all, and just pick a couple and zero in on them. And that's what I see that you're going to do. And that's your strength, is that you can imagine something and make it happen. You can see something and create and make it go. And I'm seeing hard work and success here. The Sun card is definitely about success. Now, this is just this one more card I'll leave you with, but you see, this is only telling you what you know. The Six of Swords is here. That's a card about movement. That's a card that's not. That's the one that people used to say, you're going to take a trip by sea. That's the most literal possible definition of that card, as you know. But it's really about getting yourself from where you are to where you want to be through your own willpower and your own mind power. And you're doing it. And there's nothing that demonstrates to me, as a person who couldn't carry a tune in the proverbial bucket, there's nothing that is more a sign of mental discipline than being able to sing. Because you've taken, all you people who can really sing are taking talking to a new level. And I think it's a very spiritual level, and the vibrations are a whole different thing. It's beautiful. Singing heals people. Singing is healthy. Music heals. There's no doubt about that. And that is one.
I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, that is one gift. You know, there was, probably one of the more famous entertainers of the 20th century, who is fallen into disrepute, although his records still sell like crazy, was Al Jolson. And I only mention him now because everybody remembers from the movies and all his, when they think of him at all, that tagline, the world's greatest entertainer. But I researched his career once. I saw his scrapbooks at the Lincoln Center Library, the Billy Rose Theater Collection. And in the earlier days of his career, the tagline they used to promote him was "Good for what ails you." Now, you see, there's a guy, that's because of the connection with the audience. Good for what ails you is really summed it up. And you have power.
Thank you. I think that, for me, the level that I'm practicing at now, it's really about taking that energy that comes through the audience and through me and connecting it through this vehicle of music. And it's a glorious thing, and it feels like it is healing for myself, for the audience. Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely vibratory. This is why
uplifting.
Yeah, this is why people sing in churches, and this is why religious ceremonies have singing, and it's a very important thing. Even though it's like I said, I'll sing quietly, but it's
I never sing, no matter what.
And listening to it is good. And something, a lot of people, there are people who have now in our society, because of the technology, have lived their whole life without ever actually hearing a live singer. Even if they go to a concert these days, they're really listening to an amplified recorded voice in many cases. But to actually hear it right in front of you live, that is such a rush. I can only urge people to go to as many small restaurants or cafes or little performance venues where there is live music and get into it, because it's a game changer. especially if you're down. Even if someone is singing, even if they're singing sad songs, there is a connection. As a person who I spent years performing as a talker, but there was that connection between the audience and the performer. If you don't make that connection, there are a lot of people I knew who wouldn't do that. They were performers and they would keep a wall between them and the audience. And I would ask them, "What are you doing it for?" If you're doing, and they say, "Well, I want to be rich and famous." I say, "Well, good luck with that. That's not what it's about. That's a side effect." But it's all about what you give and take, and it's a beautiful experience. And I see nothing but positive change coming for you and growth this year. I'm going to pull one more card and see what we get. Just one more. And I'm shuffling it up a little bit. And, now that's fascinating. It's the Hermit. That means somebody will be appearing this year to maybe guide you and help you along to the next step. Look for a mentor. Look for somebody who can lead you along. This is going to be a year for you of discovery and growth. I no doubt about it from these cards. So keep me posted. I find this exciting. I'd like to know how it goes. Lisa, you there? Alyssa, you there? Was that Alyssa? Yes. Lisa. Okay. Well, here's what we do. I think we lost our singer. We lost our vocalist. But we're going to go now to Joanna in Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, Joanna. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Yes, hi.
Hi, Joanna. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, thank you.
Great. What can I look at for you?
I was calling about love and relationships.
Okay, it's nice when those two go together. It's they don't always. We know that. They're many relationships. We've all seen those relationships where we figure, what are they doing to each other? But,
exactly.
Let's see what happens. I have known. I have. It's one of the strangest things in the world. I witnessed. There was a couple I used to work with who despised each other, hated each other. I could never even read their cards after a while because all the cards I always got for them were sword cards. They were always fighting. They were always at each other's throats. So yeah, well, we're doing something out of it. There was something else. So let's see, what do we have here? Okay, now this is a fascinating card. These are a fascinating sequence of cards here. The first card is one of the nastiest looking cards in the deck, but it's a good card. And that is, I know that's a value judgment, but I take it from me because I'm an expert. the Ten of It's the Ten of Swords. That's the card that shows a person lying face down in the mud with 10 swords in her back. Now that means the worst is over. That doesn't mean death or anything horrible like that. It means that life has thrown a lot of bad stuff at you, but you survived and you're going to get up and it's going to be fine. Did you recently have like a bad relationship or something?
Well, it was it's kind of hard to explain. It wasn't a bad relationship. It was like two damaged people dating each other.
Oh, boy, tell me about it. Yeah.
We were good people, but we've been through so much. And so someone decided to walk out of it, which was my ex.
Well, I can sure relate to that because I've been there. I've been there. It's like I used to be that guy who can walk into a room and find exactly the one person who was right there to fit in with what was wrong with me.
Oh, wow. Wow.
We work on that. We work on growing. And so this is a good card in that case because this is saying the worst is over. No, that's good. That's growth. That shows that you're getting better. Now, here's the good news is there is a relationship coming for you. I'll tell you how I know. There's a tower struck by lightning is the card here, and that means something happening totally unexpectedly out of the blue. The next card is the Four of Rods, which is about a happy home and happiness. And the next card is the Knight of Cups, and the Knight with a K, like Don Quixote. The Knights are about the appearance of something new. It's not yet fully taken form, So it can be volatile. It can be up and down, but it's the beginning of something. And the cups are about relationships and emotion and happiness. So it's telling me that you are going to get into something with somebody really soon. You're going to find somebody really soon. And the net result is going to be happiness. But it's going to take a little bit of work to get to that point because it's new. You know how things are when it's new.
Yeah.
That whole myth about the two eyes, the sets of eyes meeting across a room at a party, and then you live happily ever after. Forget that. I mean, if that was real, we wouldn't be paying money to see it in movies. We would just be living it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you do have a new relationship coming this year, and it's going to come. It's going to appear when you don't expect it at all. It's going to come out of nowhere. Now, I would say keep an eye out for that, but you won't have to. You'll know it when it happens.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be anywhere at work.
Well, let me see. There are definitely cards for that. Let me just shuffle it up and see what I get.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm getting... loosely speaking, yeah. I mean, this might be me stretching it a bit, but one of the cards I have here is the Five of Rods. And that's about, the rods are definitely about work and career, and it's about stiff competition. So I'm going to interpret that in light of your question, that yes, it looks like it could be coming out of somebody at work, but somebody who other people are interested in also. However, the cards before that one, the cards before that one are say it's all on your side. The World is the card of assured success, and the Two of Cups is the card that means a new relationship is coming. The only reason I'm going to say there's a strong possibility that it'll be through work is because the Five of Rods is a card about work. And the tarot cards speak that way sometimes. But there's every indication here that there's definitely a new relationship. Look, I got another one here, the Page of Cups. Pages and the Knight and the Page that covers the whole gamut of the court cards. Here's the Lover's card. You are really, there is a relationship coming for you this year, soon.
Oh my God.
Maybe.
Okay.
Again, here's the King of Cups. You've got all these court cards. That means, now the thing, let me tell you why that's important. The court cards are evolving. It starts with the Knight, and then it goes to the Queen, and then it goes to the King, and then it goes to the Page. And at each step along the way, it solidifies whatever it is. Like if it's coins, it's the money. If it's rods, it's about work. But these are all cups. So you have 3 of the 4 cup cards. So you go from the Knight to the King to the Page. And that's telling me that this is a dynamic, growing relationship that is going to settle in, and it's going to, it's not going to be like a flash in the pan kind of thing. I think that you're headed for a serious relationship this year, and you both are going to be doing the work needed to make it grow. You're going to take it from the stage of the beginning, which is the Knight, into the King and into the Page, which is the earthly. It's the solidifying of it all. This is very good. Remember, the main thing here is that the worst is over. There's a new relationship that's going to come suddenly. It very likely will come from your workplace. And there's a great measure of success involved in it for you. And you're both ready for this because you're going to do the work. You're going to put the work in for it.
Wow.
This is good. One more card here. Cups. This may be more to the point than the one about work. This is the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups has an implication of something happening through your friends. So it's going to be somebody you'll meet through people you know.
Interesting.
Okay? And there's also, that implies success too. 3s are completion in tarot. That implies success. So you'll know it when it comes, and I think you're going to have a great time with that, because the main thing to me is that first card, the 10 of Swords. The worst is over, and you're moving into a really good time. 2020 is going to be a good year for you romantically and emotionally, and it's going to be beautiful for you. Keep me posted. And by the way, I haven't given out my email yet, so I might as well let you know and let everybody who's listening in know that anybody can contact me or update me on anything that we've had a reading about at asktarot@earthlink.net, ASKTAROT earthlink.net, or there's a contact form at my website, or you can reach me through Ask One Radio. You can do an internet search for Reverend Elliot's Magical Window. I'm the easiest person to find. I would be the world's worst fugitive. So I'm out there. I just shuffled them up a little bit, and I pulled another card, and it's the Two of Cups again. That's the card of a new relationship coming. Yep, it's coming. It's definitely coming.
It's confirmation. Wow.
Yeah. I'm not even going to use any of those standard card reading cop-outs that say, I seem to see that perhaps no, this is real. This is coming. This is definitely coming your way. So keep me posted, okay?
I sure will.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Yes, thank you so much.
Bye-bye now. And we'll shuffle them up again. Again, you're listening to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window. Now, if you can't get through tonight, and most people who want to get through can't get through because we have a limited time span here, and of course there are people who don't want to get through. They want a reading, but they don't want a few million people listening, so that's cool too. You can just contact me at asktarot@earthlink.net. If you didn't get through and you wanted to, or you didn't want to, just drop me a line at asktarot@earthlink.net. I'm happy to do a free consultation for Ask One Radio listeners. Just put that in the subject line, free consultation, or free, or whatever you want. Just remind me that that's what it was. It's the free consultation offer. I usually charge $20-25 for a consultation, which I really don't expect to pay anyone to pay, because I do that just to keep away the curiosity seekers who will jump at anything that's free. But I don't. You guys are not like that. I know that if you're listening to Ask One Radio and all the great shows here, that you're very serious about this. So that's my gift back to the people who listen, is a free consultation just for Ask One Radio listeners. We do it by email. It's very simple. I pull a few cards and I send you a detailed report on them, and 99 times out of 100, that's it. That's all you need. I mean, a lot of people think that I'm going to do that as a come-on and then charge you $4,822 for a full reading, which of course is ludicrous. I don't do that anyway. I never go above $3,000. You'll see. You go to magic-works.com, magic-works.com. You'll see the price list there. My readings are really affordable. I do not do this for the money. That's just, there's no way around that. So these things are all flexible. But no, the free reading, the free consultation I offer is not a come-on. Most people get their question answered completely and fully with just a few cards. And I'm always happy to do that because, hey, it just doesn't cost me anything. So why should I bleed people for every penny there is in the world? It's not what life is about. I used to tell, this is fascinating. I don't even remember if I wrote this up in one of my books, but I used to tell people, and I'm going back years, I came up with this idea years ago, that of all the things people need in the world to survive, money is probably the easiest thing to get. And I did a test for that. I walked down a busy street here in New York City. I walked along Central Park West, and I asked people for money. This was a long time ago. And I got money, people gave me money. People gave me, a buck here, a quarter there, they gave me some money. No sweat. I just said, listen, can you spare some money? Now, the next day, I went to the same spot at the same time of day, and I walked along there, and I asked random people on the street if they would just spend a couple of minutes to listen to me. They really would like to have somebody listen to me. And nobody cared. But you see, what is more important? Is it getting a few dollars or getting somebody to listen to you and understand you and connecting with a person? That's what it's all about. That's what communication is about. And that's why I'm here. Almost everything I've ever done in my life in terms of career work has been about communication. And looking back over my long life, I see that I've been involved. One of the very first jobs I ever had as an adult was writing copy for a local news station, a local television station for the news. So there you go. I'm intimately familiar with how TV news operates, folks. So this is why I don't bother with it. That's a whole different thing. We can talk about that for years and years and years, but that is way off the subject. Anybody wants to get into a discussion about that, contact me. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. Let's get in a couple more calls here. Joanna in Westminster, California is next. Hi, Joanna. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight, Joanna?
Good. Thank you for taking my call.
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
I can ask any questions.
Go ahead.
I can ask any question.
Oh yeah, sure. Just don't ask me what the capital of. Don't ask me what the capital of Nebraska is. That's.
I wanted to ask kind of a hard question. I was wondering if my husband was cheating on me.
Okay. Let's see. There are. Well, first of all, you do have suspicions, so you wouldn't be asking the question. That there are definite cards for that. Let's take a look. Now, I'm going to shuffle them up and see what we get. Well, I'm really reluctant to get into that because the first card I've got here is the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is about a person who is not being very fair, is cheating in a sense. The Five of Swords is about a person who is not treating you properly, who is not being truthful. We have very limited time here, so I don't want to. I can't give you a definitive answer, but that is exactly the card that hits what you think is going on. So I want to be very cautious about that because either I am, and then I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Either I'm picking up what's going on or I'm picking up what your fear is going on. Now, let me tell you, there are two cards that I would look for if a person is in a relationship and is being treated unfairly and the person is cheating. And one of them is the Five of Swords and the other is the Seven of Swords, and I got both of those cards for you. So it's looking like yes, but, and I have to stress this, but this is not the kind of thing that I can definitively answer for you without a long reading. I mean, a full reading. I'm not trying to sell you a full reading here. I'll be happy to pull a few more cards for you. But so far, it's looking like you're right here. The next card I have is the Justice card, which means that, when the Justice card turns up, it usually means something is going to happen in a courtroom, So I'm trying to be as delicate about this as I can because, like I said, this is an extremely short reading, and I wouldn't ask you to take any action on what these cards are saying. Just consider them, because don't take any action unless we do like a really long reading together. And even then, I would say you should, take measures to verify and find out, because I'm either picking up what you fear or what he's doing. Okay. But what I'm getting here now is not good news, in that sense. This is the Five of Swords is a card of defeat, and it's usually defeat that's because of duplicity. The Seven of Swords, that's a lot of decks. It shows a person tiptoeing around taking something that's not theirs, so you can see what the symbolism is. But this is like I said, this is not definitive. I can't go into it in a way other than this right now. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to cop out here, but I see that your concerns are genuine. Let's put it that way. Okay. I just don't want you to take this as like complete confirmation, because I can't do that with these short readings. Yet I'm gonna tell you that it's something to consider. I mean, what I would do in a full reading is I would take a lot of time with this, and I would look at you, and then I would look at your husband, and then I would look at the relationship. And I just don't want to give you any information that you would act on that is premature. Okay?
Right.
But nevertheless, I can't deny the appearance of those two cards, which are exactly the two cards that tell me that there is, I'm going to put it this way, a strong possibility that that is what's going on, that the person is cheating on you. This, I can't escape that. I can't paint that any other way except to say that it requires a lot more. Now, this is not me pitching to sell you anything, because this might mean you need to check out other things yourself, investigate it yourself in any way that you can. Check with friends, check with a lawyer who may know somebody. I don't want to get dramatic here, but it may be time for to hire somebody to investigate and to look into it, that kind of stuff. The thing that concerns me is that I'm not getting anything opposite what you're afraid of and what you're concerned. Not afraid isn't the right word. What you think may be happening, because to even ask that question, you must be picking up some pretty solid signals, right?
Right.
And I'm very sensitive to that too, because I went through that in a marriage one time, a very brief marriage, like a training marriage, and sometimes these signs are not very subtle.
Right.
So
I don't have proof.
Right. And that's proof is the exact word I think I'm dancing around. I don't want you to take this as proof, because there are so many ways that this needs to be verified. When we deal with cards, we're dealing with feelings, and we're dealing with stuff. So like I said, I'm either picking up your feelings or I'm picking up what's happening. But in either case, I'm not getting anything contradicting it. You see? Because here's another, the Three of Swords. These sword cards are not good. They're about strife in this sense. That the Nine of Swords is a card of sorrow and sadness. And so this is hurting you. There's no doubt about it. Here's the Six of Swords. Again, the sword cards indicate that there's trouble in the relationship. That's clear. The Three of Swords. Look, I keep getting sword cards for you. These are the saddest of the cards. The Three of Swords. And the Nine of Swords. So you're not in a happy place right now, obviously. So I may be picking up more about what is on your mind than what is actually happening, and that's why I would urge you to, if you're not going to get a fuller reading with me, find somebody maybe who can help you out with that. There may be somebody locally who does this kind of stuff, or check with friends and a lawyer, because there's definitely something going on here. And it's not the best of things going on. The main thing is, I don't believe that what you're feeling is in your imagination. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
In fact, the Justice card, which I told you is here, that also has two swords on it. So there's a lot of strife and tension here. Now, this is the part that I hate. I've got to go because the show's over. I've got a little over a minute left. So I want you, if you feel comfortable with it, contact me. AskTarot@earthlink.net is my email, and I'll pull a few more cards for you. But mostly, no charge. We'll just continue this reading a little bit and take a little bit of a deeper look. But if you want to use cards to work out the take a look at it, which I do recommend, you're going to need a very in-depth look, because this is serious. This is heavy stuff. Okay, so I've got to run now, but I will keep an eye out for your email.
What's your email again?
AskTarot, AskTarot @earthlink.net.
Okay.
And you can find me. There's a contact page at magic-works.com, and that's magic with a CK at the end. It's easy to contact me, so do that, because I hate to just slap this on you and then run, So do that, and maybe we can pull a little bit more out of it. But I got to go. I've got like 30 seconds left, so I will hopefully hear from you.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye. And that's it, folks. That's it. We just ran through the hour. Wow, that was so fast. So remember, magic-works.com, magic-works.com, if you want to see more about what I do, and mojoacademy.org. There is a book there that will change your life. Please check those out. We'll talk more about that next week. Got to run now. Bye-bye.